I'm Matt Bouchard with NAREIT'sREIT.com, here at the Wynn Las Vegas for REITWorld 2015, NAREIT's annual convention for all things REIT. Joining me for this CEO Spotlight is Denny Oklak, Chairman and CEO of Duke Realty Corporation. Denny, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Matt. Glad to be here.
Now, you made it official earlier this month that you plan to step down as CEO at the end of the year. What drove that decision, and what's next for you?
Well, Matt, I've been at Duke for a long time, and I've been CEO for almost 12 years, so I think the timing was good. I accomplished a lot of the things that I wanted to accomplish for the company during my time as CEO. And I've also, throughout my career, sort of said when somebody is ready to take my spot, I'll be ready to move on. And certainly my successor, Jim Connor, is definitely ready. So as to what I'm going to do in the future, I'm going to relax a little bit. I'm going to stay on Duke Realty's board. I'm also on the board of another publicly traded REIT, Xenia Hotels Resorts, which I'm enjoying very much. So I'm sure I'm going to keep busy.
And one of your major accomplishments recently at Duke was the major repositioning of the portfolio that you oversaw. How do you feel about what you accomplished in your tenure and where the company sits today?
Well, I feel very good about what we've done over the last 5 or 6 years. We really repositioned the company to, I believe, have the best industrial portfolio out there in the U.S. and also, while smaller still, the best MOB portfolio. And both those product types are doing very well, and I think the company is very well positioned for the future. And also, I'm very proud of the team that we have at Duke Realty. So I think we've got one of the best teams in the industry, and going forward, they're going to create a lot of value for the shareholders.
And as you turn the reins over to a key member of that team, your COO, James Connor, what would be your biggest piece of advice as he begins his first year as CEO?
Well, Jim has been with us for 17 years and really spent his whole professional career in real estate, so he doesn't need a lot of advice from me at this point in time. He and I have worked together for 17 years, so I've really got a lot of confidence in him and the team. But I would say, heading into your first year as CEO, you shouldn't overreact to the things that go on around you. Kind of stay the course and just hang in there when things look a little tough in different places, because they'll always get better.
And lastly, you've obviously in your tenure guided Duke through a number of ups and downs in the cycles of the building market. Where do you think the market is currently in terms of new construction, and are we going to see more activity, or are markets starting to get overbuilt?
Well, I think this has been an interesting cycle. When you look back, you're right, I've been through quite a few cycles, and really probably the worst one before this was in the early 80s when we had very, very high interest rates, and then obviously 2008 and 2009 were tough years. So this has been a little different recovery. It's taken longer, but it's really been very, very solid. And I would say this point, especially in the industrial space, is about as good as we've seen it for a long time. So I think the good news is, though, I also think we didn't get a lot of overbuilding in this cycle. It's still, everybody's been a little bit more cautious, and I think it'll stay that way. So hopefully we've got a little bit more runway left.
Great. Denny, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Matt.
For more from REITWorld 2015, be sure to visit REIT.com.